Good morning. Welcome, friends, to yet another panel of academic experts, women professors this time, who would shed light on online pattern of higher education in the present context. As we take on the new normal amid COVID in our stride, one thing is paramount. We need to keep up effectiveness in whatever we do by evolving new work culture and thinking. Let us change the threat of COVID as a new model of education that is equally effective, if not better than the one that is being followed. With this end in view, we have invited 4 women professors from prestigious institutions to share their views on how we can evolve an effective education pattern and not cowed down by COVID. My panelists today are Dr. Seema Joshi, economist, Delhi University; Dr. Tanushri Banerjee, she is professor, School of Petroleum Management, PDPU University, Gandhinagar. We have Dr. Kavita Srivastava, professor at Department of Management Studies at RGIPT, JS Amethi. And we have Dr. Annapurna Barua, she is professor at Department of Petroleum and Earth Sciences, University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, Dehradun. I invite Dr. Seema Joshi to share her views, and I also request the other professors to follow thereafter. Thank you.
Hello everybody. First of all, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to Mr. Singhal for inviting me for expressing my views on the topic effectiveness of online pattern of higher education amid COVID-19. As all of you are aware, the novel coronavirus COVID-19, it originated in a city of Wuhan in China, and gradually it has taken under its grip more than 200 countries in the world. As per UNESCO's estimates, 1.5 billion learners across 191 countries got impacted initially due to the sudden closure of educational institutions in the world. So, where India is concerned, our higher education system has been designed for face-to-face teaching. But remote learning is something which is not new to us. And if remote learning method of teaching learning is implemented properly and effectively, it can help us in achieving our long cherished goal of education for all. Even Sustainable Development Goal 4 laid down by United Nations will also be attainable. But there are certain preconditions which need to be fulfilled. First and foremost precondition is that a remote learning plan should be ready. Secondly, high quality e-content should be made available. Thirdly, it must be accompanied by well-trained and highly motivated staff. Connectivity infrastructure in the form of devices, uninterrupted supply of Wi-Fi services needs to be made available, affordable and accessible for one and all. Devising assessment and examination methods along with quality control measures is also a need of the hour. Cybersecurity issues need to be fixed. Psychosocial support needs to be given to all the stakeholders in times of social distancing and increase in screen time. But with 22% of population living below poverty line, 34% of population having access to internet facilities, the apprehension has been expressed that increase in automation of education services might aggravate already existing socio-economic disparities in the society and may give rise to several technical issues. Therefore, it is imperative for Government of India to introduce equity-oriented policies and well-coordinated policies to check the digital divide and to tap the digital dividend. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Singhal. Understanding the effectiveness of online pattern of higher education amid the current pandemic is an interesting area to deliberate upon. It has been about 3.5 months since the pandemic brought about the sudden jolt in classroom education, where very quickly the delivery method had to be shifted to online mode only. Let me discuss its impact on higher education based on 5 points that come to mind. First, wade through difficult time for maintaining continuity. Academicians have certain goals in common that include co-creation of knowledge by teaching students in class. This can be using chalk and talk, PowerPoint presentations, case study based discussions which are interactive in nature, laboratory work, skill building exercise, and tutorials. During the pandemic, higher education institutions have made a conscious effort to quickly move to online method of teaching with whatever resources the existing setup provided, such that there was no pause button in between. Simultaneously, efforts have continued in the past 3 months to refine it day by day, thus keeping the continuity. The second point is about speed of adoption. The structured approach followed by higher education institutions to move to online method has provided educators the confidence to adopt alternate methods of teaching with ease. This has increased the speed of adoption and thus maintained continuity in academic work. I have been part of brainstorming sessions, meetings, and innovative idea sharing at my business school that have collectively allowed decision makers to quickly move to alternative methods of teaching using online platforms. The third point is about coping with the planning phase, getting shortchanged for quick outcomes. Teaching using online method has its own merits. It's not new. And it has been used in higher education to complement classroom teaching. However, teaching during the pandemic, the push that came for teaching using only online has focused on quick outcomes without being able to devote sufficient time for planning the required infrastructure, faculty training, and long-term value. With initial hand-holding and learning by doing, that is, while picking up the online method, simultaneously learning the methodology of it, all stakeholders seem to have come together to make it work collectively and fruitfully. The fourth point is about ensuring new normal investments in online methods is not half-baked. The question that we have or we fail to answer at this point is how long do we have to continue with the online method of teaching? Is it a permanent setup or an interim setup where majority of the academicians will go back to their classroom teaching method after the pandemic is over? With this uncertainty in mind, the educational institutions are bearing a lot of stress while making decisions on investment in new infrastructure and software platforms. They are aware that the integration with the existing setup needs to be such that they remain useful medium of knowledge sharing even after the pandemic is over. Fifth point is about new work-life balance. The pandemic has redefined work-life balance for both men and women as the roles have become redefined both at home and work. For us academicians, working from home and teaching online to a large group of students who are otherwise part of classroom has its own set of challenges. One thing can be said for sure, that during the pandemic, online method has bridged the gap and has helped maintain continuity of knowledge sharing. As we see the future of higher education, the merits of online education realized during the pandemic, clubbed with classroom education for sections that require classroom face-to-face delivery, will help carve quality teaching practices. Thank you very much.
I would like to thank Due Journal for giving me opportunity to share my views on the topic effectiveness of online higher education during COVID. The pandemic has significantly disrupted the higher education sector, which is a critical determinant of the country's economic future. Since March, all institutes, universities, colleges have been closed and there is no certainty when they will reopen. So it is a crucial time for education sector. Why? Because examinations, admissions, recruitments all are held during this period. So the question is how to cope up with all these. One thing which has come up from this pandemic situation is use of technology. The technology enabled us at least to impart knowledge to students even in this situation via online teaching. Institute, universities are conducting educational webinar, online workshops, courses to connect with their students, and students are also getting benefit from all these while sitting at home. Earlier, the student comes to the college to acquire knowledge and education, but now all these are going to them. What they need, only a laptop or a smartphone with internet connection. So I would say that the pandemic has transformed us from the old chalk talk model to the new model which is driven by the technology. But yes, it also has dark side, especially for higher education. Why? Because higher education is not only about exams, classes and grades, etc. Rather, it is about an experience that prepares a student to become a functioning member of the workforce with requisite knowledge, skills and life experiences, which is lacking in online education. But yes, everything is having some positive and negative side. But in this present situation, the online education is much needed for students and we need to prepare ourselves for this change. Thank you.
Singhal, Chief Editor of Due Journal, for asking me the question effectiveness of online pattern of higher education amid COVID, perspective of women in education. The time and place flexibility of e-learnings attracts more and more students to online education. Students who are keen to pursue higher education can fit them around their existing responsibilities and commitments. They can engage with learning process at whatever the time is the most convenient to them. They do not have to travel anywhere to study. Students, including women with family responsibilities, can get flexibility to learn more than they do in the traditional courses. They are able to work at their own speed. However, online classroom cannot replace the traditional teaching methods. Many of students encounter serious challenges like adaptability struggle, technical issues, computer literacy, motivation, self-motivation issues, isolation leads to depression, physical health risk due to overusing computers. So teachers must use alternative ways like collaborative assignments, frequent discussions, and use of technology to facilitate alternative channels of communication. Innovative teaching ideas can reduce the risk as well as it can ensure greater overall academic success. Creating and maintaining virtual relationship is now the fundamental to maintain mental health as well as overall success. But how to network during this COVID-19 pandemic and beyond remotely? Completely virtual conferences, workshop, courses are the new concept. How you can bring value to this? I would like to share one of my experience during this COVID-19 pandemic. We conducted international virtual workshop on shale gas exploration and exploitation, where 1,500 participants across the globe participated from industries, research organizations. We got opportunity to exchange our ideas, knowledge, and research outcomes. So attending such online networking events, webinars, and chat rooms in groups can help to make new connections. It can enhance the employability also. Virtual education system is certainly more effective option, but yes, it has drawback also in case of lab-based, experimental-based courses. But are you interested in finding out the most effective way to learn language softwares? This is the right time to utilize high quality multimedia content to enhance your knowledge and skill. Thank you.